us. But most of all, I believe that the energy sparked was that something special within you. That geek, that wanderlust, that crunchy granola love for something that was shining all around you. And so I'm really glad that you're here and joining us. I've been working in the field of wellness for several decades now, and there are only a few things that I can say that have made a huge impact in those decades. DNA sequencing is one. The reversal of all fat is bad is another. But the idea of concentrating plants into oils that can impact our mood, our body, and our wellness, that has gone from 0 to 60 in the last decade. And everyone is starting to understand just how important and how amazing this area of wellness can be as plants, as healing supports. And it kind of sounds a little bit like ancient wisdom to me. What about you? So, what does wellness mean to you? Common concerns people have when you're talking to them generally are weight, pain, energy, fatigue, stress, digestion, anxiety, sleep, hormones. I've studied under world-renowned thinkers and game changers in the holistic world, digging into dietary theories and nutritional techniques, really looking for where unique nutritional philosophy and organic alternatives take this holistic approach to wellness and encourages a change that's essential for us to build our well lives. So for every one of us, it's going to be something slightly different, and that's what wellness means. And yet what is impacting all of us, it's all the same. And so how we feel when we are well, that's also all the same. So, if you look at that, all of those things, we're all being impacted by the same problems out there. When I was just my daughter's age, I started developing horrible anaphylactic reactions to food and the environment around me. So by the time I was in my early teens, I was pretty sick with what is now, I know, was severe nutritional deficiencies. And it was causing everything from just plenty of ovarian cysts that required surgery my senior year, to debilitating anxiety that made it almost impossible to go out of the house without self-medication, using over-the-counter medication, alcohol, and even marijuana. This cascade of unwell continued, and I was diagnosed with IBD in my early 20s at the beginning of my marriage and beginning of my career as I sought out, I was this sought-out cosmetologist in Utah. I had this great salon downtown, but I had closed up my spa and I took on a lifestyle that was as simple as could be and tried to figure out how to be well enough to go on. And that is how I ended up here. This all led me to what I called the meh days. Those were days where when I was alone, I would gladly crawl back into bed and try to disappear into a different world. Even up into the 30s, most of what I was doing for my own health was merely placing a Band-Aid over the items that were really non-functional in my life and in my body. What I wasn't 100% sure on was what came crashing down on me in my early 40s, just a couple of years after having my daughter. Wellness occurs at a cellular level. So we are the building blocks of many generations and continue to pass it along to our children and grandchildren. When we are unwell, we lose our calm, motivation, grounding, inspiration, and we live in a tired, stressed out, chaotic world where there's just no passion for what we are living. So what is happy? I think that happy is so many things. It's pleasure, contentment, satisfaction, cheerfulness, joy, purpose, friends, well-being, accomplishment. The ancient Greeks defined happiness as the joy that we feel when we're striving after our potential. So to be truly happy, we have to have the mind, body, soul alignment. And when one area is out of balance, it creates this discord within the others. To correct my own discord, the hardest part was to figure out, how do I align my emotions, my energy, and my body into a space where it's all functioning. Like functional medicine, we have to change our focus away from the things we fear or lack in all of those areas, and instead be open and willing to see the opportunities for creating optimal functioning of our bodies and its organs, our mind and beliefs, and our overall abundance using some of the systems of holistic or alternative practice. The most amazing symbiotic relationship in my life has been that of myself and nature. Plants use photosynthesis as a process to convert energy from the sunlight, from simple energy. They don't ask for it, they don't run from it, they just allow it in and create a chemical energy and split atoms into hydrogen and oxygen and get electrons for fuel growth and reproduction. If you think about our own bodies, we are also just this bundle of conversion receptors that directly influence our gene expression. Our receptors are always open for messages, like plants waiting on the sunshine. Occasionally a cloud may come along, and we allow lack to fill that receptor. We do. Whatever choice we take, like the sunshine, it gets transmitted from surface to the cell deep into the cell's interior, where the message can change the state of the cell dramatically. This is what drew me to everything I've been doing in my career and for my family. It drew me to change my nutrition and to get educated in nutrition. It drew me to change my fitness and get educated in fitness. It drew me to essential oils and to get educated in aromatherapy. And when my family, not just a sibling or a parent or a spouse, but many family members and friends were dealing with big picture items, it drew me to learn more about how plants can provide something for us that we've been made to receive. Nature is my pharmacy. Get it? Farm? I know, I love myself. Isn't it wonderful? It's always the easiest place to start. The item that has kept coming up on my newsfeed, though, and that I've done a ton of research into for friends and family, is cannabis, and especially CBD oil. So, living here in the Pacific Northwest, most of the CBD oil is not THC free. It may be 10-to-1 ratio or even just 1-to-1 ratios. Now, if you saw a mom that was doing drugs and breastfeeding, you would be horrified, right? However, did you know that caffeine is considered an L2 drug ranking? Now, L1 is the lowest and L5 is the highest risk type drug. So, caffeine is classified similar to nicotine patches and an alternative to methadone. Methadone is what they use to help people get off of heroin. Now, cannabis, which is the full hemp product with the THC naturally in it, is an L5. So that's actually in the same category as heroin and PCP. And what we found is that an infant ingests approximately 0.8% of its mother's dose per kilogram from one joint. So in heavy users, the milk to plasma ratio can be as high as 8-to-1. And this is because THC is excreted into breast milk. So naturally, this is why so many people are very against cannabis. The government owns several patents for medical marijuana, of course. Probably didn't know that. So there really is very little legal medical marijuana in the U.S. market. So you may think then that hemp is all the same and cannabis is just cannabis. However, there are hemp strains that have been cultivated from seeds from all over the world that are not THC rich. Have you ever used organic hemp seeds on your salad or made a hemp seed pesto? CBD oil that is THC free is actually just like a natural essential oil, just like the carrot seed that is turned into an essential oil. What you want to look for is an oil that uses not only non-GMO seeds, but organic practices and a sophisticated CO2 supercritical extraction method. And in doing so, all of those complex essences of the nutrition in the hemp plant remains intact. So CBD hemp oil extract is actually considered a superfood, and it is full spectrum CBD hemp oil because it delivers virtually all the original nutrition found naturally in the hemp plant. So I set out to find a company that was doing all this and using the entire hemp plant in their formula, because just like the essential oils I use in my aromatherapy practice, this essential oil needed to be transparent. So what I mean by transparency is that a company that doesn't share their testing results, that isn't showing you the real deal of what they're offering, it really makes you wonder, and oftentimes if you're wondering, you're right. So I knew that if myself and my family and my friends were going to ever use this oil, I wouldn't use any company that didn't run tests on every single batch of CBD hemp oil, not just for the THC and the CBD percentages, but also tests determining that the products are pure and free of heavy metals and other contaminants. Like they say, the soil is in your oil. It's similarly with food, how our soil lacks selenium, and so does our food. So they also needed to have published results online that I could easily access, just like I do for my essential oils. So I saw how hard it was for my family members to find good quality CBD oil, and one that was up to my standards. I wanted to find something that also had a guarantee that if they didn't like it, they could send the open bottle back and get their money returned. So I found a few oils that I liked, and I started looking at who used supercritical CO2 extraction processes, no heat or chemicals, was non-GMO with no THC, and no gluten used in their processes. So like olive oil that is often mixed with sunflower or canola oil, there are a lot of things mixed into essential oils these days. So I also wanted a complete spectrum CBD hemp oil. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but what that means is a complete spectrum oil includes the wide range of cannabinoids present in the cannabis or hemp plant. And I wanted an oil that had an interactive synergy between these cannabis compounds. Now, they call this the entourage effect or whole foods medicine. So this whole plant medicine is a term that's used to describe utilizing the whole full spectrum of therapeutic compounds an item has to offer. So just like the best essential oils, you want to have the most abundant cannabinoids and terpenes in your oil. So there was a study showing that when they mix the terpenes linalool and limonene, which you may recognize with lavender, true lavender, and lemon essential oils, which are two of the most popular first oils that people use in practical use, when these two are mixed with the cannabinoid, it shows this huge promise in the treatment of MRSA. There's also another option called CBD isolate. Now, this is your CBD in a crystalline form. The isolate form offers fewer cannabinoids, nutrients, terpenes, and flavonoids than your full spectrum oil. I certainly prefer the full plant oil, but that's something that each person needs to determine on their own. Carlos Frias, who has been in the cannabis industry for a decade and a half and is a grower in California, said that the one thing you have to have before buying any CBD oil, because of the high contamination and bad practices in this quick-growing industry, is published third-party lab tests for purity and quality. And I take that one step further. I say it also must be grown and harvested on USA organic FDA-approved hemp farms with no THC. So I found a company that offered me all of this. So I started the process to add their oils into my practice. I thought to myself, what else is possible? What I found was the very next day after I had asked this question and was accepted to this program, another company just showed up with similar products and higher quality, more transparency. It was just like magic. So what I realized was that by joining their organization to get my oils at a better price point was fantastic, and that I could do that for free. I also loved that they offered a unilevel plan, which means that no one gets stuck in an orphan leg with no support, which we see with all of these weird binary companies out there. Many companies are getting their oils from the same main organizations. It's the same way with if you were to go to Colorado or to here in Pacific Northwest or anywhere that has the recreational marijuana, they all have the same growers that they're going through. Well, that's the same with all of these CBD companies. They're all getting them from the same main organization. However, the quality may be better or worse depending on if they're doing third-party testing or not, depending on whether they're using more of a hemp paste, kind of the second leftovers. So I knew that there were two companies using this same Kentucky farm. However, when I looked at the differences in the organizations and the compensation plan, only one stood out as being the best seed to sale option for me. So oftentimes people see a direct sales company and they run for the hills because they think everything has been jacked up, all the prices are high, they don't trust the quality, and that's okay. If this is not for you, like I said, there was the other company that I had originally connected with, and so I can recommend a regular retail organization for you to purchase from. But other people that are like me see an opportunity to buy something they already want at a discount price, and we get happy. It's like when you go into Costco, like I was looking through their ad, and they're going to have the double pack of the Nest fire and CO2 monitors for like $40 less than I could buy it. And that makes me happy. And I can tell you that you definitely won't find a better quality for a better pricing with this product. Now, some people see the benefit of having another avenue of income and take the leap into that. Either way, if you decide to join for yourself or for the team, like I said, the cost is free. How much better can it get? There was a new study that shows that out of 2,400 CBD users, 42% gave up pharmaceutical drugs. Now, the CBD or cannabinoid market could grow 700% by 2020 because more people are turning to these products. Whether or not it's replacing pharmaceuticals, most of the respondents reported in the studies that CBD helps a great deal and that they use it regularly. 80% said they consume CBD in some form at least once a week, with 41% using it daily. The vast majority, about 82%, reported that CBD offered significant relief from their ailments, which range from anxiety to chronic pain. CBD oil users in Great Britain doubled in 2017. I mean, really, it seriously did. And that's according to the Cannabis Trades Association in the UK. So the amount of people using CBD there soared from around 125,000 to 250,000 users in 2017. Now, currently, this quality CBD product line is actually available not just in the United States, but in Canada, England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Sweden. And they do not take these items lying down. They have got far higher stringent regulations than the United States does. And it was funny, I looked at this and I was like, oh, it's like my DNA jumped out and created something amazing. It was like looking at my 23andMe printout. So it's very simple. If you want to order, I just think, why not save the extra 20% and just enroll for free and buy it from yourself? It's like giving yourself a free Costco card. Would you turn that down? I wouldn't. I don't want to pay the $100 a year for my Costco card. Doses vary depending on who you talk to. However, if you Google, the consensus seems to be that for general health, 2.5 to 15 milligrams of CBD by mouth daily. For chronic pain, 2.5 to 20 milligrams of CBD by mouth daily. To treat sleep disorders, 40 to 160 milligrams of CBD by mouth daily. However, there's so many different ways and there's so many different people that are saying things out there that you kind of have to start easy and then go up from there and see how it works for you. But what I love is there's so many ways to get your CBD, and CBD drops are just one of those ways. My dogs, I use the CBD pet treats with my dogs because the one dog has severe anxiety. He was abused when we adopted them. You can use skincare with CBD oil in it. A lot of people like to get the CBD capsules or sprays on the go, and the sprays are merged with other items so that you can get a spray that's more attuned to focus, a spray that's more attuned to helping you fall asleep, one that's more attuned to relaxing. And so I really like that. You can find the new Facebook page. Come and join our tribe and contribute your vibe on the Mindset Unicorn page. And that's at facebook.com Mindset Unicorn. We do not fear the winds, do we? No, we do not. What I love about this organization is that there are no fees for anyone to become an associate. That means that any orders placed by a personally enrolled customer or associate that occur between Monday and Sunday of any week get issued to the enroller on Wednesday of the following week. Additionally, there are no personal purchase requirements to receive this 20% commission, and there are no caps or limits on how much you can earn during any qualifying week. So any commissionable sale that occurs during any given week qualifies for that 20% CV commission, and it's issued the following week. Now, there's one basic introductory rank, and that's called an associate. Now, as an associate, you're given your free website. But customers who don't want to sign up as an associate, but just want to buy products at the discounted online price, they also get a free website. And so the difference between a customer and associate is the following. A customer is anyone who orders a product and or package, but does not sign up as an associate. An associate is anyone who signs up as an associate, whether they order a product or package or not. Now, any customer or associate that personally refers anyone who purchases a product and package from their website is entitled to that 20% commission based on the product and or package CV. That's what they call the volume. So without a personal product purchase being required, which is really amazing. That is so unheard of. I mean, does that sound like any other company you've ever looked into? They also have 4 different type of compensation. So they have the retail profit that we were just talking about. They have unilevel pay, which means that anyone that you register, drink my water, anyone that you register, they're going to be on your front line all the way across. Anyone that they register goes below them. Anyone that they register goes below them. And it's just straight across. Everyone, you're personal, they're personal. The regenerating matrix pay is what they copywrote. It's a profit sharing position. And that's more complicated, but just know that it gives you more opportunity to have more revenue. And then they have what they call the infinity bonus pay, and that is your leadership pay. So they knew that there are too many hoops to jump through in most compensation plans, and so they took the best parts of retailing, unilevel pay, forced matrix pay, infinity bonuses, and company-wide profit sharing pools, and they combined them into just a really simple, straightforward, easy to accomplish 4-part compensation plan. So there's no gimmicks, no gotchas. There's no legs to balance. There's no increasing personal volume requirements as you rank advance. There's no unrealistic enrolling qualifications. You don't even have to worry about where you're placing anyone because everyone you sponsor is yours and they just roll right into placement without a second thought. So join us, give CBD a try. You have a 60-day money-back guarantee on open bottles. And so what have you got to lose for taking the time to see what a nutrient-dense plant can do for you? All right, guys. I know that it's late, and I am really, really grateful that you came and spent this half hour with us. I'm going to quit recording, and then you can go ahead and ask some questions if you have any. But the takeaway is, if you've been wanting to try a pure non-toxic CBD product, this is it. And if you want to get it for the best price possible, it's awesome that you can do it free. All right, so I will stop this and we will do this again soon. All right, bye-bye.